Well, Pennsylvania's lawmakers, they went home bragging about a $1.3 billion increase to education funding in this year's state budget. However, that money is split between 500 school districts. Tonight, our Pennsylvania Capitol correspondent Kara Jeffers looks at what districts in our area, what they got.
Students walking into schools this week have an education funded from 2014 statistics. But a new adequacy formula is trying to catch schools up to their current status. The adequacy formula, which is the response to courts saying Pennsylvania unconstitutionally funds schools, has two goals. First, ease the burden of property tax on local communities.
It's a challenge for our senior community, especially our senior community, to continue to be able to facilitate paying those taxes.
The adequacy formula's second goal is to set a standard for how much school districts should spend on each student, then give extra money to the districts not meeting that goal. In our viewing area, districts range from Athens getting $0 from the new fund to Wellsboro receiving a 6% increase from the formula. Over-reliance on property tax and not enough funds for each student is because of how Pennsylvania funded education for decades.
The funding formula has not been tied to student count since 1995.
In 2014, the state created the basic education funding formula that took into account population, income, and property tax. But
they never really put it in place, and they added a little more money to the budget at times, but it didn't really close the gap from the school districts that were very much in need.
Right now, Pennsylvania spends a third of its budget on education, roughly $18 billion this year. Out of that $18 billion, almost half goes to basic education fund. But of that, only 27% of the funds go through the new formula. Schools say that new funds this year have been put to good use.
Our teachers, up until this past end of our last contract, were near the bottom of being paid. And we just settled a contract that we were able to give a decent sized raise to get us back towards the middle.
You know, we were able to balance our budget. We moved around some funds so we could meet the new mandates with the new security that needs to be in our buildings.
But $1.3 billion divided 570 ways remains a drop in the bucket.
It's a good start, but the legislature has a long way to go to meet the demands that the judge put on them in that case.
In Harrisburg, I'm Kara Jeffers, WENY News.